Alright. You back with Jimmy Harlow. I changed my mind on this debate. If my camera goes off, I'm over your age, bro. I've been having issues with my camera for like the past 2 days. So if it goes off, your age, Bryce in the building. OG your age.
Some of your hot takes. Today, I'm gonna share some of mine. It is only fair, after all, that if I put others' opinions up for debate, contention, ridicule, that I do the same for myself.
The cry?
Like you, I too am.
I've never seen a coach cry before.
The same for myself.
I've never seen a coach cry before. Who is this? It's got to be like in the early 2010s, because look at the logo behind him. It's the old logo.
Because like you, I too am just a guy who has a few takes and opinions that I wouldn't dare say out loud in fear of having my ball knowledge put into question. But today, I'm gonna do just that. So here are my NBA hot takes.
Alright, know with you, Jimmy. Ad coming. Yup. You can't fool me, Jimmy. I'm already familiar with your game. And so there's too many other people familiar with your game. You can't fool nobody.
6 credits when you deposit just $5 or more. That's promo
Hubba
code
Bubba Max, Jimmy. Hubba Bubba Max.
DraftKings Pick 6. In preparation for this video, I thought about some of the opinions I've had over the years about players. In preparation for this video,
hold on, time out. Alright.
I thought about some of the opinions I've had over the years about players, teams, eras, opinions that I know are probably subjective and completely false, but I usually try to stay as objective and non-biased as I can. Do my research, refer to film, gather consensus when necessary. But in this video, I'm doing none of that, and instead sharing with y'all 5 of my NBA hot takes. Alright, so my first hot take is kind of hard to admit. I almost don't even want to say it out loud, but I'm going to. Tim Duncan has become overrated. Now, before you bring out the torches, hear me out. When Tim Duncan was playing, there were maybe a few seasons throughout his 19-year career where he was considered the best player in the world. No one ever thought he was better than Shaq in his prime. Many fans at the time argued that KG had a higher peak than him, although I would disagree with this. And in the moment, for a good decade or so, peak than him, although I would disagree with this. And in the moment,
He didn't even call it either.
So you would be in the
minority. You won't pass the ball. I ain't calling shit for you.
Duncan was a better basketball player than Kobe Bryant. By the time Duncan retired, he was very underrated. Most fans had him somewhere around 15th, maybe just outside the top 10 greatest.
I know 2K got him at number 10 or 11. They have him right behind Steph Curry
of all time. But miraculously, over the past 5 years or so, Timmy has creeped from 15th to 13th to top 10 to where he probably should be, somewhere around 7, to now all the way within people's top 5, even top 3 players ever.
Or not me. He's in that nice 7 to 10 range. 7 to 10. 7 to 10, maybe 11. Like 2K. Not me. Who's he saying? Who got Tim Duncan at number 3? You, Jimmy?
It's a small community.
Jimmy got Tim Duncan at number 3 all time?
Propaganda. I'm seeing Duncan floating anywhere from top 5 to top 3 all time for a lot of fans these days. Even people
I mean, he got 2 MVPs, 3 finals MVPs, 5 championships.
He may just be the greatest basketball player of all time. Guys, Tim Duncan was incredible. The best power forward of all time. He is not one of the 5 greatest players ever, let alone the GOAT. And I think
due to his personality, if he had more personality, he probably would have been. He probably would have been top 5 all time. Top 5, 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 top 5. But he don't know personality. He can't be top 5.
Here is younger or maybe newer fans of the NBA are
now he got personality now. I mean, he retired
and comparing them side by side to other greats and saying, "Wow, this guy really did."
He has 2 All-Star MVPs.
Is better than just about anyone ever. But if you watched Duncan's career unfold in real time, you would have felt the impact he had on the league and on the Spurs. But
yeah, I watched him when he was playing. He was annoying. His team's always good. I'm glad OKC got him up out of there, bro, into retirement.
Excellence played on Duncan. He was unbelievably consistent.
Russ and Katie.
Defensive juggernaut. He was a leader. But Duncan was also the beneficiary of the most competent organization in the league that prioritized team ball and continuity. From Hall of Fame teammates he played with for the majority of his career to all-time greats that played big roles in helping the Spurs win championships.
Come on, don't do that.
Was always surrounded by winning culture and winning teammates.
Don't let that doesn't discredit him, no. Don't let that discredit him, no.
By no means.
I mean, on my list, he ain't top 5. I don't even have a list, but you know what I'm saying.
On him. In fact,
You know what I'm saying? Don't use that against as an argument against them. That's stupid. Oh, he has too many good teammates. He was a system player. That's stupid. Who came up with that? There's finding excuses at that point. Every excuse in the book. It's like saying Kobe, he played for the Lakers his entire career, so he's overrated. What did he do? And I'll repeat everyone on the helicopter.
Why the Spurs were so cohesive, but only in retrospect when you look at his laundry list of accomplishments and neglect all of the details that came with it. For many years, the Spurs as a team and organization were seen as this staple of excellence more than Tim Duncan was as an individual. It wasn't Duncan and the Spurs. It was just the Spurs. They were one and the same, not this pretty good team with a fantastically great player on it. But if you just look at his resume, you wouldn't know that. You could argue Duncan had maybe a top 3 career in NBA history, but as a player, he's just not on the same tier as Jordan or LeBron or Kareem. I don't know how after he retired,
his personality, that's why. His personality.
Shaq and Bird and Russell and even Magic for some people. Duncan
he wasn't trash. He didn't talk trash to you, nothing.
But he is not a top 5 player in NBA history.
See, Jokic, at least he likes horses. Tim Duncan, like, he just kept all that private.
He was so underrated for so
I think he has a car shop in San Antonio. I'm not sure.
Overrated today. Now, I'd like to think of myself as sort of a board member, an executive within the organization of LeBron fans and Glazers. So this next take pains me to say.
Are you ready?
Hulu on Disney+.
Jimmy, how are you sponsored by Hulu? I didn't know you had Hulu.
But LeBron has sabotaged many good situations throughout his time in the NBA, and his career as a whole has suffered because of it. We all know that LeBron has been held back by some bad front offices, selfish teammates, terrible roster constructions.
Booby Gibson! What y'all know about Booby?
Front offices, selfish teammates,
what y'all know about Booby Gibson? Booby!
Constructions. But what doesn't get talked about enough is how he has gone out of his way to try to make good situations better and has inadvertently ended up ruining things for himself in the process.
How you get his hairline back?
In 2014, when he decided to sign with the Cavs instead of staying with the Heat. Why did he do that? Well, we all know why. The Heat were getting old, Wade was past his prime, and the Cavaliers had the cap space and a budding young star in Kyrie Irving to help reel Bron back to Cleveland. This decision eventually
he won an All-Star Game MVP without LeBron.
What if he just stayed with the Heat, with Pat Riley and Spoelstra, where there's culture and accountability? I imagine his career would have played out even better considering where the Heat are today. Or what about when the Cavs went to back-to-back finals in 2016 and 2017, but since LeBron didn't feel they had enough to win it all, he orchestrated an entire implosion of their roster, which ended up being vastly worse.
I remember that. I was in high school,
and then
in a PE class, everyone came up to me, or people just didn't come up to me and start shouting, "Oh, LeBron traded the entire team!"
Just left them again once things were beyond repair. Or most recently, when the Lakers won a championship in 2020, and instead of reloading with the same roster, the Lakers returned with a whole new team just 2 seasons later.
I'm about to say just the same next season. Like, dang. No, they got rid of him. They traded him for Russ. Got rid of him. Traded him to Jazz. Jared Dudley's the coach of the Mavs now. Traded him for Russ. He left in free agency. He left. He retired. I don't know where he at. He a free agent. Probably trade him and left him go. Pelinka.
Lakers returned
and Frank Vogel
with a whole new team just 2 seasons later. These decisions.
They need to go back to that haircut. I like it when AD had this haircut.
Happen without LeBron's okay. Throughout his career, he has been so quick to want more, want something better, and he can't wait around for it to happen organically, so he tries to force these things to happen.
The GM, back at it!
Which it hasn't worked out a lot. The organization,
shout out to Chris
the coaching staff, and even his own teammates end up taking the fall. As great as he is, LeBron has tried to play GM way too often in his career.
The GM.
Or he's out of options, he just moves on to the next new shiny thing. If he just stayed with the Heat, or stayed with the Cavs, or allowed rosters to build chemistry and young players to develop naturally over time, I think his career and the perception of it would probably be better right now. LeBron has willed his way to some of the greatest feats the sport has ever seen, but he has also sabotaged a lot of good things along the way. Now, here's a hot take for you, and I don't care if I'm wrong. The corner three
looking like Kendrick
is not
Perkins.
The easiest three-point shot. For years, everyone has said the corner three is easier than any three-pointer, and so there's an advantage to be had there if you use them right. I wholeheartedly disagree.
Looking like
In the
Kendrick.
NBA,
Hey, Jimmy, looking like Kendrick Perkins right now. Hot taking for no
sure,
reason.
the corner three is shorter than on the wing or at the
Everything
top
gotta be a
of the
hot
key,
take.
but if you play ball, you know this shot is as scuffed as it gets. When you're looking at the hoop straight on, you just have a wider margin of error.
That's fact. This is facts though. I agree with them. Because for me, the corner three is one of the difficult threes for me. But top of the key and the wing is easier for me. Top of the key is kind of hard for me. But you know, I still knock it down. But it's easier for me on the wings.
You can shoot long and bank it in. You have a better perception of depth since you're looking at the backboard. It may just be psychological.
Like that, right there at the wing. Right there at the wing. I'm like Curry, looking like Curry.
Easier than this shot. According to NBA.com,
And
this
a cheater.
season the league as a whole is shooting 39% from corner threes, whereas above the break, teams are shooting 36.1% on average. Now, that's a substantial difference in efficiency from these two different shooting zones, and it would lead you to believe the corner three is easier. But I think shooting
To NBA players, most, not all NBA players, but most NBA players. Like I was saying on the video, everyone and their mama can hit the corner three. It's just like that. I don't know why. These players are just used to it. It's like their specialty. They had that one badge on 2K back in 2K12, 2K13. Everybody used to go crazy over it. It's called corner specialist.
Higher on corner threes than threes above the break
PJ Tucker.
for two reasons. One, the best shooters in the league, the guys who are on NBA rosters to drill a few threes a game, usually spend the most time in the corner. And since most players who set up shop in the corner are sharpshooters, the overall efficiency from corner threes is boosted compared to on the wing or at the top of the key. And reason number two, a lot of threes taken above the break are pulled up off of dribbles, players flying off of screens trying to square up and get a good shot off. And many times the players attempting these kinds of threes are the best player on their team, but not the best shooters. On the other hand,
We
corner
made
threes
that?
are almost exclusively set shots coming off of passes to a wide open man. The very nature of offenses in the
What the
NBA
hell?
makes these
Y'all
corner
just-
threes easier.
What's wrong with the
Open man.
Nets, bro? I thought that's wrong with the Nets. I was going on. Watch him.
Offenses in
That man read a book, took off his shoes, put his feet up on the couch, bro.
NBA
Took a shit, came back, had to go to the bathroom again. Got some water and launched
these
it up.
corner threes easier
the-
than any other threes because players
Ooh,
are often drawn up to
sassy
get
jab.
open looks from here from the best shooters in the world shooting set shots with no one contesting. Corner threes, especially those
Old
real
man.
deep ones where you feel like you're behind the backboard, are not easier than any other three-pointer. Now, I know I'm going to catch some flack for this next take, and that's okay. Because in a redraft of every player in NBA history just after their rookie season, I would pick Victor Wembanyama first overall.
He sounds like someone familiar. He sounds like someone familiar.
You might say this is just recency bias. You may think I'm crazy, and you're probably right. But Wemby would be my first pick. His progression, his poise, his confidence, his
I understand
skill set,
why.
his potential. If you lined up every great player since the inception of the NBA, and if we're just going off of what we've seen from them in their rookie season, I would pick the kid in San Antonio. Now, my answer may be different if I were to pick anyone before they played in an NBA game. Maybe it's LeBron or Kareem. But based on what we know so far, give me the 7'4" alien. Wemby can do everything on the court.
He just go between his
offensive
legs?
skills, the defensive ability, and willingness.
That's
From
still
what has been
crazy.
said about him, he is like a sponge with information. He's learning exceptionally fast on the court. And I think what's just as impressive as his physical tools, the kid is not afraid of the moment. He isn't timid, he can talk trash and take it too. He's got heart, and you can tell he really loves the game. Now, I think
Did he
some
spread his
players who
legs
are up there
apart?
with him for the first overall
Why
pick
players
in the
do
league
that?
draft post-rookie season might be Shaq, Kareem, MJ. Duncan was incredible as a rookie, maybe Hakeem. Overall, their numbers are about equally as impressive. But the thing that stands out about Victor is that he's doing this at 19, 20 years old on a minutes restriction. He's already an elite two-way player, possibly even the best defensive player in the entire league. And he has the advantage of playing in an era where he is allowed to develop a well-rounded offensive game from the post all the
Shaq
way
wasn't allowed to do that. Get your big ass in the paint, bro. Same with Kareem. Jordan was a guard. Just give the ball to him. Duncan, same with you. And Keem, same with you. Get your big ass in the paint.
out to the perimeter, something that Shaq, Hakeem, and Kareem never had. The improvements he's made from his first...
The thing, see, look, Jordan was playing the perimeter. He was never in the paint. See, Wemby can do both, perimeter and paint. That's what makes him different. They allow him to dribble the ball a little bit and post up in the paint.
Shaq, Hakeem, and Kareem never had.
He has more freedom.
The improvements he's made from his first game this season to now are already so massive that his progress alone really makes him stand out even amongst the greatest rookies ever.
He almost lost the ball.
Frankly, I never witnessed these other players play in their rookie seasons. I wasn't there to see it in real time. And of all the rookies I have seen over the last 15 years or so, Wembanyama is way ahead of all of them. Is this a terrible argument to make here? Sure. Does that change my pick? No. If you can ignore what we know about these players outside of their first season in the league, and if you had to choose one of them, I think Wemby would go first overall. At least for me, he would. By the time these other players came into the league, they were already relatively polished. Jordan was still pretty raw, and LeBron was playing off of sheer athleticism. But Wemby is having one of the greatest rookie seasons ever, and just by watching him, you can tell he's still just learning how to play in the NBA. So not only is he already incredible, he's just barely scratching the surface of his potential. Now, can this take come back to bite me in the ass? It sure can. But I don't care. If I could choose any player in NBA history based off of their rookie season and their potential and trajectory, I'm picking Victor Wembanyama. Now, I don't know if this last take is even a hot one anymore, but it needs to be said. The 2017 Warriors are by far the best NBA team ever.
Uh-oh, don't let Shaq hear this. Shaq's gonna get heated, bro. Shaq's about to crash out.
Not the best team on paper. They are, by a pretty wide margin, the best, most cohesive team in NBA history.
Shaq's gonna crash out.
People will argue that the 96 Bulls were better, or the 2000 Lakers, or if they're really out of their mind, they'll say the 86 Celtics. But no, the 2017
Celtics, who they got?
Would dog walk.
Oh, that's right. Bill Walton came off the bench that year and made him good.
In front of them. They were so good that it pissed people off. They were so good that everyone unanimously agreed that it wasn't even fair.
Yeah.
It's been long enough now that the painful hopelessness that this team inflicted upon NBA fans around the world has subsided. But I'm sure we can also
He just banking a three from the corner? Did he just bank it a three from the corner?
Has subsided.
Yeah, get this team out my face. Get this team out my face. You already pissed me off with their highlights now.
We can all still remember just how overwhelming this team was. They made really good teams look incompetent. I mean, they had
Sean Livingston off the bench, bro. That's what LaMelo kind of remind me of. Sean Livingston, because he's 6'7" point guard. LaMelo get a post-up game.
World at the time, the greatest.
He may have scored 30 a game and get a post-up game.
Ever at the peak of his powers, the most versatile defender in the
league.
They
gotta take his game to the next level.
The second greatest shooter ever, and somehow still managed to have a very solid, well-rounded bench. And
they got Iguodala.
They have the most talent. But all
saving the planet from the saving the universe from the aliens.
Their skill sets and intentions meshed about as well as a team could. So not only were they the most loaded team in NBA history, they all bought in and they all just wanted to win. So I not only think they're the best team ever, I don't even think it's close. Pick any other team to go against them, specifically the 2017 version of the Warriors, and the opposing team would be lucky to sneak one, maybe 2 wins. And
Cavs got 1 win over them. They beat them on Christmas and game 4 of the NBA Finals. 2017 NBA Finals game 4 and Christmas that year.
Game series.
That Christmas Day game was the greatest Christmas Day game I ever saw in my life. The 2016 Christmas Day, Golden State Warriors, Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving hit that game winner.
Of my NBA hot takes. Hopefully I didn't alienate
that Christmas game was lit.
NBA fan throughout this process. I just think it's only fair that after sitting on my high horse and judging everyone else's takes, I share a few of my own. So please go easy on me. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Corner 3 suck. And as always, until next time.
Corner 3 sucks. W video, Jimmy. Some of these takes, I get your point. I get your point. I can't be mad at that. Can't get you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I agree, but I can't be mad at it.